Hey, good morning, everybody. Rory Powers with Right Line Trading. Want to wish you a very happy Friday. And before we get started, this broadcast is for demonstration and educational purposes only. I am not a licensed financial advisor. If you're not familiar with the risks associated with trading, please consult with a licensed financial advisor. We're going to be trading the AI Auto Trader today, as every day. And the opening bell is about 2 minutes away. If this is your first time joining us, the AI Auto Trader, once the strategies are enabled, is a fully automated trading system. Will execute and manage the trades on your behalf. We're going to be trading all the futures index equities, NASDAQ, Dow, Russell, E-mini, along with crude oil and gold. And just getting a little perspective of what happened overnight. Had that big move up pre-market. And now the market is filling in that gap. So we'll be interesting to see once the opening bell comes which way the market decides to go. That crude oil 1 day pass, 2 days in a row now. We have customized templates for evaluations for the prop firms. And the one on crude oil hit it 2 days in a row now for my on my system. And this is our leaderboard this morning. What's hot, what's not? The ES cash register took a nice $250 winner. And again, my chat is not working, unfortunately. Let me see if I can get it going. I'm not sure why this keeps happening. Okay, there goes the bell. A really nice volume here. What I normally like to do is just let things settle down here for a couple minutes. We're running the strategies all in a separate SIM account for the time being. And then we'll make a decision as to which strategies we're going to put in a funded account. This short roll right here on the NASDAQ on the 30 range looks very, very nice. But we don't want to get faked out. So we're going to be patient. We're going to sit on our hands. Let me see if my chat went live. Very strange. Okay, I'm not able to get it going. I like that signal B on the 30 range right now, but let's just hold up. I think what I can do is, it's going to echo a little bit. Sorry about that. Really nice volume at the opening bell here. And
Welcome to Iron Beam, the future of futures trading.
oh,
With our cutting-edge
I
chart
see
trading
it's I see my chat's working.
Oh,
When I log in somewhere else, but on my
When I log in somewhere else, but
that's weird.
when I log in somewhere else, but
That's weird. Oh, it just came back. Oh, it just came back. No, it didn't. I hear myself echoing. Oh, here we go with that signal B. Let's see if we can get that long. Let's see if we can get this short roll. So I'm going to go on to my strategies on the NQ30 range.
so I'm going to go on to my strategy.
It might have passed me by, so I'm going to look for a pullback.
It might have passed me by, so I'm going to look for a pullback.
I'm going to go with the signal A on the 30 range. I'm going to look for a retracement back to the 50 and a continuation down.
I'm going to look for a retracement back to the 50.
I'm a little late to the party right now.
I'm a little late to the party right now.
The Haymaker pre-market is up 535.
The Haymaker pre-market is up 535.
Don, I enabled the Haymaker. My chat is
Don, I enabled the
under construction.
my chat is under construction.
Here we go. Now we got what we wanted. We got this pullback.
Here we go. Now we got what we wanted.
We're looking for this RSI line.
We're looking for this RSI line
To get up into that green area and then pull back down. I'm not sure if it went up high enough there.
Not sure if it went up high enough.
Here we go. Now we're looking for a short roll.
Here we go. Now we're looking for a short roll.
My oil strategy is still in sim.
My oil strategy is still in sim. My oil strategy is still in sim.
Okay, hopefully I came back. Are you able to see my screen? Good question, Leonard. We're going to take a look. Come on, there's some kind of delay. Trying to get into this short roll here on this Apex 13. Well, we got into the short roll. Give us a little heat there. Giving us a little heat. Got stopped out on that one. Okay, great. I'll tell you, whatever just happened, it fixed my chat, so now I could see at least. Okay. Wonderful. Ooh, look at the RTY. Let's take a look at RTY. Signal B, RTY. Take a quick look over at Forex Factory just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Today is the last day of May, coming into the sixth month of the year. We had core PCE 945 Chicago PMI on deck. Now it appears the market is slowly pushing back up here. This is our hot strategy right now, is this Russell. Getting a nice push up here. I see my retirement plan up top. The stop jumped to plus 11. So all the risk is off, and it's looking to continue to the upside with no risk on the trade. Came back and nicked us out there. Both trades. Let's take a look at the crude trades. This morning, what worked, you could see my entry. It's a signal A. My Laguerre RSI line crossed up through my 20% line, up to my 20%. Market structure-wise, my 15 is green and above the 50, which is also green. Very tight to the 50. And got a beautiful move up. That's the sweet spot. Those are the entries I really love. They're not counter trend trades. Market structure-wise, this is where our software defines risk at its lowest. Very tight to the 50 with a green 15 and a green 50. The 15 on top of the 50. Let's see what happened yesterday where we caught our trades. This morning that trade happened at about 8:45. About 8:45. Let's go back to yesterday real quick, and then we'll go back to the trading. Here's yesterday. Same exact time. We get our same entry. 8:45, 8:44 and 30 seconds. We took a counter trend long entry here with a 50 that's red and a 15 below the 50. Market structure-wise, this is a counter trend long entry going right up into the 50. It bounced and we got stopped out. But then it took a short entry with a 15 that's red, a 50 that's red, 15 below the 50, and came down for a nice winner. Took the long entry here for a small loss, and then on the roll, it caught the winner. So, looking at that information, and I really personally like that entry. So I can automate that strategy to only take that entry when those specific conditions line up. And I can eliminate the counter trend trades. That's not to say the counter trend trades don't work. Because sometimes they absolutely do, especially on crude. But if I want to take the risk on passing on one trade, I want to go with my best option, where I see that the data proves that risk is at its lowest. I believe this copper strategy that I have running has those inputs. Let's take a look at this copper account. Let me get back to the right edge. Sorry about that. I see my 50's red. And it looks like my 15 and 50 are almost on top of one another. We'll see how this plays out. And I'm going to show the strategy parameters and just show how I was able to, look at this, how I was able to just filter out those other counter trend trades. The haymaker did go short. Which looks like it's going to turn out to be a nice trade. So our haymaker took a trend trade. Those signal A trend trades, I love them because they're always tight to the 50. And they're in a confirmed trend to the downside. Why go long? Get this break here. Could go all the way on this trade. Retesting. This thing could be off to the races on a short trade. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to enable my signal B right now, because if that breaks through, it's going all the way. It's going to drop. So let me go to my strategies, and I'll look for my signal B entry. And I'll enable that. Let's go back to this trade. So the signal A was a beautiful entry on this. The haymaker is a signal A entry. And you can see what happened. We're in a downtrend. It got overbought, oversold. Retraced back to the 50. And now it's caught that short roll. Nice and tight. Now it's having a little bit of trouble breaking through this area of support. But if it does break through, it's got some running room. So I might have gotten in now on my Apex account on the signal B. I'm a little late, but I really like that break. So it went all the way on the haymaker. Let's see if I got in on my account. I'm a little late. Yeah. So I'm in the same position now on my Apex on the signal B. Come on down. Give it just a little room here. Yeah. on down. Come on down. Get this break here. Come on, push down. Push it on down. Go. Damn. It's trying. Get on through there. There we go. Come on. Get down there. Nice. All right, we're back to 145. We took that first loser. I'm going to stay in with that signal B. Unless we get a really nice retracement back to the 50. Which it looks like it's trying to do now. We're still in that crude oil trade that we really like the setup on that 15 and 50 red and sloping down. That's the setup that's been hitting that $50,000 one-day pass, the $50,000 Apex account. And look at gold. Gold is in a beauty. Holy moly. Look at this gold trade. So now we're going to go back to the signal B on this. I don't want to make things too confusing. But on my strategy parameters, if I just want to take those trend trades on the signal A, this was, the NQ30 range. I want to take the signal A entry, not the signal B. I'm going to load the Haymaker strategy. These all come in pre-formatted templates. So I'm going to look for my NQ30 range Haymaker. Load that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add the 50 signal, which it already is. I'm also going to put the 15 signal to red-green. I'm going to put the 50 above or below price and the 1550 signal. So I'm going to put in these filters. So market structure-wise, it's only going to take those retracements back to the 50 and a continuation up or down into the trend. And those are the only entries that I really want to take. So now, if I get this short roll and my 15 stays below my 50, I'm going to jump in short because it's not a counter trend trade. But gold took an absolute beautiful trade here. Look at that. Look at that short entry. So the haymaker is up $1,205 right now. This could be an entry right here. It's going right into a pivot though. Might have prevented that entry. So now it's through. Now it broke through. Now the only way in is a signal B. That area of support prevented that entry. We didn't want to trade straight into a pivot. Right now, Leonard trading the haymaker. Now that my LIQUIDITY is pinned to the bottom, see, it's important to know the triggers on these entries. And I've discussed the triggers in the past, and I'll very briefly tell you again. For the signal B, my LIQUIDITY, my RSI line needs to be pinned to the top or bottom. To the top for a long trade, to the bottom for a short trade. So right now my signal B would go off on my NASDAQ if I'm not too close to this pivot. So if I want to catch this short move, I would go to my strategies and I would look for my account for Apex that's trading the signal B. Or I can just start a new one. And under my available strategies, I would select the AI Auto Trader, come down to the template, load, and look for my NQ30 range signal B. I'm going to select the drone. And I want to put in the conditions that I like. Since it's a signal B, I want to have the 50 signal, the 15 signal. I want the price to be above or below. And I just wanted to take trend trades right now because we're in a trending market. The market's headed down. I'm going to put this in my 13. Click OK. Now I just have to find it. I think this is my signal B, actually. No, this is my signal A. No, it's nothing to apologize about. So those are the two entries. That crude trade is still in play. Getting some really nice trades on crude oil. So we got this retracement back on the NQ30. My Laguerre is up in that green area. So I've enabled the haymaker, which is a signal A, and we're looking for a short roll to the downside here. That's a shame. Gold took a really nice entry. It got came right back, nicked us out, and now it's continuing down. Let's see if we can get this short roll now. It's we've got a 15 is green at the moment, and we are headed right into some resistance, some support. Yeah, the haymaker looks great. It was able to catch those nice rolls to the downside. Oh, might have put me in that position. No, it didn't. Good. Now put the haymaker in that position. With the haymaker took a short position. I didn't take the entry because I filtered out when the 15 is green. If the 15 is green, I filtered mine out. So I sidestepped this one. And using those filters could be a double-edged sword sometimes because you won't catch some of the winners. But at the expense of missing out on a few winners, the goal is to not pull in any losers and just take your top trades. I'm kind of excited for next week. Because I've spent some time testing those 50,000 accounts, the 50,000 one-day passes, and I'll tell you, I really like that crude one. That crude one is just as good, if not better, than the 30-range NASDAQ, and we've seen the NASDAQ 30-range one-day pass just crush it this week. If you weren't with us on Tuesday and Thursday, Mark Miller got 10 PA accounts passed on the 50,000 one-day passes. It was 1 out of 2 on both times. He did 5 at a time using a trade copier. First trade that he lost on Tuesday, then the second trade came back right back and won and got 5 PA accounts. And then he did it again yesterday and really made a believer out of me. That's the nice part about watching other people. it's not your money at stake, you know, and you can learn. And he definitely taught me with the 1 day pass. And um, Rao, who's a valuable member of our YouTube community, um, kind of gave us the idea. He said, "Hey, scale up, go for shorter targets." This was a tough week, Leonard. I was looking yesterday, and for the month, we were headed to the moon. And then this past week was just a really choppy week. Here, now, this entry here, we might have jumped into. No? Boy, that looks good, too. See, now this one, it cost me. That's just the entry that I like, though. For some reason, I got filtered out of it, and the haymaker took it. That 15 was just turning from green to red. Just missed it on that condition I put in. You could see the 15 turning from green to red. Intra-candle there. But the haymaker jumped in. My signal B is not a bad entry now, so I'm going to enable that one as well. I'm going to go to my strategies. I missed the A, but you know what? I'm not going to give up on this move down. I'm going to see if I can jump in on the B. I know I built one. It's just a matter of finding it. Let me build it again. I'm not sure why I'm having a little trouble finding my signal B. This is our power. This is our power hour. This 10 to 11 window is really our sweet spot for this system. I went historically back months, hour by hour, and this is the one that it lights it up. This was a beautiful trade on the haymaker. Whew, man, am I sick about missing this one. What's nice about these entries, like I was saying earlier, is once the RSI line, once price retraces to the 50 on these downtrends, your RSI line will come up, and then you'll catch a short roll very tight to the 50 on these. Let me see if I popped into this trade here. Nope. Might get into this short trade here if it continues down through here. Really good volume right now to the downside. Ideally, we'd love to see it come right back up and kiss that 50 and roll. Let's see if we can get in now. Yep, there we go. I'm a little late on this move, but I think we might be able to give this some room here. Get it to run for us. Bit overextended on the move. Let's see if we can get this roll. It's setting right back up for our signal A entry. Yep. All right, there's our signal A entry right there. I missed that. Squeezed it too tight. So this trade here would have been another 1-day pass for sure. This trade, this short entry on crude would have passed that eval again. one of our members, I think it was Steven, is going to jump into that short entry again on that signal A. The haymaker is just crushing it. I've kind of overthinking it and making it more complicated than it really is today. Leonard was right. He said, hey, the haymaker's crushing it today. Let's look at a weekly performance on it like you had asked earlier. It's about break even, Leonard. Really nice volume right now. Just under 2,500 contracts a minute. This is my performance on the signal A's on the 30 range this month. For May, the month of May, between 9:30 and 11:30. All really nice with this huge bar between 10:30 and 11, which is really the time that we're coming into now. You can see by the half hour what my performance is. The only drawdown for this month you could see is between 9 and 9:30. Here we go. We're right back in. Let's give this trade a little more room. I like the good volume here. We don't want to get wicked out of this one. And as Peter Fusco says, we don't want to poke in the eye either. Come on down. Come on down. Atta baby. Atta baby. Come on down. Nice. Nice. Come on into my window. Come on down. Okay. That put me right into my profit goal for the day on that account. So I'm going to disable my 13s, and I'm still fighting on this, doing it without the one-day pass on number 13. Number 16, I did the one-day pass, and I fell a little short. But I was able to put 620 in my number 13. Now this signal A is setting up again. And you can see the haymaker, which is our signal A strategy, is just running up the score. It's at 1520, and it's about to go short again. So this is our sweet spot right here on this NASDAQ 30 this month. 10:30 to 11. We're just a few minutes before 10:30. This should be set to entry time, which it is. So we're just a few minutes shy of 10:30. But this is the time that this strategy is this month is performing at its best, getting the best results. Yeah, LaDonna, we were shorting that market. Let me pay more attention to the chat. I really do apologize. No, Leonard, the haymaker is actually a signal A. The signal B, bot and drone, those are the ones that take the trades when the Laguerre is locked short. Like I had it enabled, the B enabled, because I saw the Laguerre was locked and I wanted to jump in short, and I was able to capitalize on that move down by using the signal B while this Laguerre was pinned down. If I go back to my 13, it took the entry right here and my Laguerre is locked. That's a signal B. And you can see market structure-wise, my 15 is below my 50. There's a confirmed trend to the downside. So, LaDonna, we're looking for a short. We're going to short the market in those conditions. We don't really want to take a counter trend trade. We'd be crazy to go long right now. So I shorted the market, and I was able to catch a nice move down to the downside. So the crude oil trade finally just got stopped out. Took a monster winner. You could see that short entry there. Black gold continues to do extremely well. Let's take a look at that one a little closer. This is my black gold for the month. And we identified earlier today that it hit those two big trades right around 8:45. That's that big spike you see here. But it continues to do well right through the 10 to 11 o'clock hour as well, right from 9:30 to 11. A real sweet spot for crude oil. Actually, starting at 8, right through 11. Black gold has done really well this month. If we look at the analysis on it, the summary, black gold is up $5,397, trading just one E-mini, trading just one contract, not a micro, a regular size contract. That's after commissions, trading one contract, $5,000. Yes, Leonard, I'm showing them to you right now. Crude oil was one, and we'll go through the other two in just a moment. The filters I'm using for Signal A, I'm very conservative, Holland. The filters that I'm using for the Signal A are the 50 signal, the 15 signal, above and below price. Here, I'll show you. I think on this copper strategy, actually the one I just made for that Signal B. This is the one I just took the winner on. The filters that I'm enabling on the Signal B. Oh, you asked for the Signal A. They're going to be almost the same exact. They're going to be the same exact as this here, Leonard. Holland, I'm sorry. This is Signal B, the filters that I'm using. I want it to be red and green, above or below price. Sometimes I even like to put an MA diff in. I didn't this time because I was very tight to the 50, but another conservative move that you can make is if you put in this MA diff, what I like to do is I put it from the fast line to the moving average colored. The moving average colored is just a 15 moving average. It doesn't chase price. Our smoothed out, our 50, we call it our modified slow, is an EMA of an EMA, smoothed out, and it kind of chases price a little bit. Still getting really good volume on the NASDAQ, just under 3,000, just over 3,000 contracts a minute. So the fast line to the moving average colored, and then I'll put it at about 100 on the NASDAQ for the MA diff. And now it's just going to take trades on that Signal B, because we don't want to get into too much of an oversold environment where price is a mile away from the 50, because it's going to retrace back. Unfortunately, the market just doesn't keep moving down. It always wants to revert back to the mean. So rather take it in an oversold environment, we want it to retrace back, continue down, and then jump in, tighter to the 50. This was a beautiful entry here on this Signal A. Got a little choppy, but it's still trending down. Steady trend down to the downside. If what I could do is change to account 16, and if I take my haymaker, which is really doing the best today, and I put that on my account 16, what I would be looking for on the Signal A is a retracement back to the 50 and a continuation down. So this RSI line would need to come back up to the green and then down. And that would put me in on the haymaker. So I'll change this to number 16. Here's the strategies in the green today. RTY had a good week. Let's keep looking at the top of Trader 1. We'll take a look and see. I think Trader 1 is our new Signal C entry, which we might be releasing this afternoon. If we're going to review the test results, go over the data. Our team meets every Friday for 2 or 3 hours. That Trader 1 strategy is, let's take a look, is trading on an 8 Unirenko. 8 Unirenko. And that's taking our Signal C, our new Signal C entry. We could take a look and see the entries that it took on a 30 range. But remember, it's looking at an 8 Unirenko. Trader 1. See, what it does is it takes when price was oversold, it retraced back and continued down. That's what pops it in. And it needs a couple of candles of confirmation. So it popped in, got this beautiful target, got chopped up a little bit here, got the pullback and roll, jumped in. On an 8 Unirenko, we would be able to see it a little better. But it's done extremely well in this downtrend. Ran up the score pretty nicely. You could see it took this pullback and continuation. On an 8 Unirenko, it would look something like this. Got into a beauty here. Jumped in short here, came back on it, stopped it out, then jumped right back in and caught a nice big winner. Got the pull back to the 50, jumped back in short, got another nice winner. So it's really trading just as we designed it. And we're going to be going over all of the results of these Signal C strategies that we've been running. This might be another entry here. This is the one it likes. We got a retracement back to the 50 and now a continuation into the trend with about a 2 or 3 bar delay, just so we don't get faked out. So this is one of our new exciting strategies that we'll be releasing to our members possibly by the end of the day today. We are committed. I say it in every webinar that I do, and it's not just talk. We want to be the best. We want to have the best product out there. Let's go back, make sure I'm not in a position. I think I enabled my my strategy on this haymaker. We got a really nice pullback now, so we're looking for that short roll again. Let's go back to our haymaker strategy. Yeah, the weekly performance this week on the 30 range on the haymaker, it was just above. I think on my computer, it's about $300 or $400. Let me take a quick look this week. We're running from the 27th to the 31st. Yeah, it's right at break even. Right at break even this week, almost identical, exact. The signal A bot is up about $500 for the week. The drone, which feeds the information to the bot, is up about the same, about $500. The signal Bs this week had a down week. It's really a choppy, rough market this week. Here we go. Here's this short roll. I might have caught this entry. Market is just, oh my goodness, what a meltdown. Holy moly. Unbelievable. I missed that entry somehow. Now that's the one thing with adding extra filters. You'll miss some winning trades. I had the signal A enabled, but I think my 15 was just going from green to red. So we might want to, depending on what the outcome is of this trade, we might want to loosen up that 15 signal. Just go with the 50 signal, which is how we've delivered the strategies. We've delivered the strategies with the 50 signal, and we give some leeway to the 15. We don't enable that. Now let's set up for a signal B. Now we got some room. So let's go back to the signal B on that apex. So I'm going to the signal B on the 30 range, and I'm going to try to take this entry now on the 30B AI drone. I'm going to put that to account 16 and look for this short roll to the downside, to continue to the downside. My Laguerre is locked short. Nice, LaDonna. Great job. Yeah, listen, that big move down. Absolutely. Have a great weekend. Congratulations on those results. All right. Here we go. And give this one a little extra room. We're just so oversold right now. It's crazy. Look where the price went. Holy moly. Let's see if we can. If it breaks above the 50, we'll be in big trouble on this trade. Sooner or later, it's got to make a retracement. Let's hope it's later. Madonna made just under $4,000, she said. On the second bar, it'll take the entry, Holland. Once it's locked, you'll see a triangle come up on the chart. If you're running our system, you'll see a little triangle on your chart. That's telling you that the LIQUIDITY is locked and there's a disparity between uptick and downtick. Institutional money is driving the price of the NASDAQ lower and lower. What do you mean locked? What I mean by locked, Steve, is when I say it's locked to the downside, it's pinned as far down as it can go. The LIQUIDITY is locked right here, locked to the downside, pinned to the downside. Then it starts coming up, but it never really broke up out of that 20% line. The 20% line is just outside of the red shaded area. So price never really, on this little bump up, you can see on my chart the price kind of bumped up, but it never came out of that red. So if you're just looking at the technicals, and David Wise told me, listen, don't look at your P&L. Look at the line on the bottom. And if you don't see a breakup out of that red, don't worry. Just hold on to that position and let it mature until it breaks out of here. Then you might want to think of possibly getting out of that position. So to answer your question, it's locked when it's pinned to the bottom of my oscillator. Here, right up here, it's pinned to the top, or locked, pinned. That's what I'm talking about. Two bars, Holland. It has to be a confirmation. Unless in the strategy we have a parameter called entry on same bar, which is a very aggressive strategy to pop you into the trade very quickly. That one, it could go on just one bar. If you don't have entry on same bar enabled, we need a confirmation bar. So the answer would be 2. The squares in the left corner, that's the color of my 15 EMA. It's the color of my 15. The 15 is a very good assessment of momentum as well. This green box on the bottom left of my chart, I'm assuming that's what you're referring to. On the 30 range, you can see is green, and then if you look up at the 2-minute, which is a little bit of a bit bigger time frame, slower time frame, it's still red. A lot of people use that as an exit signal as well. If you're in a short trade, they'll hold that until it turns green. On the 30 range, it's a little jumpy, but when you get to the 2-minute, it's very steady. It's not going to jump around as much. You can see the current positions I'm in here. Crude oil is in another monster trade. On the signal B. So great day to be a day trader today, let me tell you. Let's take a look at the CL signal B. Is it the drone? No. Yes. Now here's a good example of pinning your stop to your 15 EMA. You can see I'm up $500 on the trade, but my stop is a little bit out in right field. I haven't reached my profit window just yet, but I sure don't want to give back all of this money. So what I could do is I can, where it says 1 buy stop, it's this red flag where my stop is. I can right click on it and go and select attach to indicator and go to properties, and then I can find my modified fast indicator and I can pin my stop right to my modified fast. So now in essence I have a momentum based trailing stop. When this box on the left turns colors, it's going to take me out of that trade. So the squares on the left, Steve, could be a really good signal of when to exit a trade. If you're in a short trade, it should be red. And then when it turns green, it might be time to get out. Which is what will happen automatically on this trade now. But I really keep a close eye on the statistics and the numbers, and crude oil is a really great strategy. This is my statistics on the crude oil one-day pass for this week. It hit, I believe, 2 out of 3. About a 66% win rate, just under 66 on the one-day pass. And looking at an analysis of it, it happened 8:30 and 9. ES one-day pass this week. Look at the ES one-day pass. That's this week. Let me make sure the crude isn't checked. Oh, it is. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. I was going to say, wait a minute. So it's only 178 in the positive. Well, the retirement plan finally did it. It jumped in on a long trade. Is this where the retracement begins? Yes, Steve, I will. I could maybe show it to you again on this trade here. This trade matures a little bit. I'll pin the stop to the 15 on this trade. So, I like to do it when this one already has a stop strategy. But let's take a look at crude oil again. What I did was on the marker, the stop marker, you can see my red flag. It says 1 by STP capital. What I did was I right-clicked on it, and this little menu came up. And what I selected was I attached it to an indicator. And when I selected that, it gave me a drop-down menu, and I selected my modified fast indicator, which is my 15 EMA. I already have it enabled, so it's not going to allow me to do it again. But that's where you would pin your stop to your 15 EMA. You want to make sure that in your strategy parameters that you don't already have a stop strategy. It won't work right. Yeah, it's pretty cool, Steve. A big dilemma that we have, a conundrum, is how tight do we squeeze our stop? How much room do we give it? How much profits do we give back before we get out of the trade? Well, that kind of solves that problem. And it's based on momentum, so I'll tell you this, I was hoping that it went closer to the 50, because it could have been, I'm hoping it still does keep getting closer, but on the 30 range, it was a huge pullback. Now it's already broken down. Let's see if it took a position. Nope. It didn't take the counter trend roll. I'm a little disappointed in myself for missing those crude oil trades today, I got to tell you. Look at this. Look how many strategies scored today. Today was the day trader's dream. It was a beautiful trending market. The CLNQ one-day passes. Well, this actually, I wanted to mention this as well. Mark, who has, I must have a dozen PA accounts, also has made available to our members customized templates for once you pass your evaluation. Our goal is to not only get you passed and get you a PA account, but we want to keep you funded. The strategy changes just a little bit after that. We have to be a lot more conservative, and we have to follow the rules that they lay down on us. So this NQ 50,000 PA account is a custom template to trade your PA account, your funded account. And you can find that in the members area on our master spreadsheet. That's surprising, Leonard, because they're both very similar. The Black Gold and the Signal A are very similar. I'm surprised to hear that. My Signal B on crude, it looks like, did better than the A. Yeah, the Signal B did better on mine too. You're right. It was just that big move down. It started catching them. And still is catching it. Look at this move down on crude. You have to have good patience. And believe it or not, you know, when I first saw it, oh, look at this. I jumped into a trade over here on this Apex account. Got really good volume. Maybe we'll get some follow through here. Don't come back now. Took me to break even. Look at that. And that's account 16. 13 we're up 620. But I'm very curious to see the strategy parameters. Let's take a look. Strategy parameters on the 50,000. What is it called? It's called the 50,000 PA account. NQ 50,000 PA account. So the 50,000 PA account runs from 8:30 to noon. And it's a Signal A entry that doesn't take any counter trends. And it's a strategy that trades 5 contracts, and it only goes for 20 ticks. It's the 2020 ATM strategy. I heard Mark talking about it yesterday. Your stop is only 20 ticks. With 5 contracts, you'd lose $500. If you hit a winner, let's see, 20 times 5 is 100, times 5 is 500. So you either make or lose 500. But it's going to trail your trade. And obviously you could always, all of the strategy parameters are adjustable. If you wanted to make this a 1 or a 2 or a 3 or a 10 or a 20, depending on the size of account you use, you could always manage how many contracts you want to risk. But today it did extremely well. It's up $1,675 on that 2020. Our new Signal C entry was the one that I highlighted a little bit earlier. New release coming out. The Haymaker, we watched the Haymaker today crush it. up over 1,000. This is a very conservative version. This copper is my conservative version of crude oil. The signal AI bot was up 805. The gold drone up 690. The signal A drone up 685. I was able to get 620 on that account 13. The Russell signal B was up 615. The Russell signal C on a 10-unit Renko is up 500. So we had a lot of strategies in the green today. Quite a few strategies that had really big days today. Really great day to trade with this huge move down to the downside. Maybe we'll get back into this trade here to the short side. Yeah, so am I, Leonard. You can see it here on my chart. It's a beauty. You can see we got into the trade back here at 10:08. Oh, what I was saying about crude oil. Sorry, my mind is kind of jumping around a little bit. What I was about to mention about crude oil, one of the reasons I love it so much is we're only risking about 15 ticks. So $150, and you have the potential to make 900. 900. A full winner is 90 ticks. And the risk to reward is just phenomenal on that trade, on that strategy. The copper strategy, Scott? Let me look back a little bit. The copper strategy. What did you ask earlier? I must have missed your question. I'm really sorry. Scott. You asked something about the copper strategy? The copper strategy is a conservative strategy on crude. It doesn't take counter trend trades. Very much of how I did it on the NASDAQ, signal A or B, I did the same thing on crude. I could show you the parameters if you'd like. Yeah, I'll post it in Discord for you, sure. Before I do that, let's see what kind of week it had. This is the copper strategy for the week. It only took 7 trades. Almost a 4-to-1 risk to reward, just under 4-to-1. Very conservative strategy. Everything has to line up perfectly. I'll post that for you in Discord for you. The settings. But listen, I got to say, I'm just sometimes being too conservative hurts me. And you saw Mark Miller is, like the polar opposite, and I'm so jealous because this guy, I watched him this week get 10 PA accounts, and I'm still struggling to get one. So I don't know that my conservativeness is to my benefit, but we'll see. Sometimes they say slow and steady wins the race. So I'm going to keep my style, and Mark has his style, and I think it's a really good mix to see both. I really enjoy watching him because I want to be more like him and loosen up a little bit. With the 30% rule, I've been promising to explain how it works, and the 30% rule is, I've learned that once you get 4 payouts, it no longer is in effect. In fact, they may not even enforce it at all unless they think you're, when they categorize you as like a schemer or, something negative. If you have a super aggressive strategy that looks to make all your profits on one trading session and then get a payout, they frown upon that. You're kind of gaming the system. So in order to prevent that, they have what they call the 30% rule. And the 30% rule says that you cannot have in one trading session, the whole day, not just one trade, one day, one trading session, cannot equal more than 30% of your profits in that account. So, for example, if you have a 50,000 account, you get it to 50. Let's just say you get it to 55,000, and you want to take out, and you get it to 55,000. That means you have $5,000 in profit. From 50,000 to 55,000, you have $5,000. You would multiply that times 0.3 or 30%, and that means $1,500. You can't have more than $1,500 in your largest trading day. If you do, then you have to make more money in order to withdraw. You would have to have more than $5,000 in your account of profit. Once you've satisfied that requirement, they say 4 times. If they decide to impose it on you, once you've satisfied it after 4 payouts, they no longer even look at it. So a good strategy, knowing the rules, it might be to get 4 quick payouts, of something small, so they no longer look at it. So any type of requirement like that you can get out from under is going to help you. So play by the game, get 4 payouts, maybe of $500 each. You could do them every 2 weeks. And after the 4th one, then do the dirty deed. I like to say, go for the gusto. Here's the copper strategy for the month. For the month, it's just under $2,000. But if you take that and you compare it to the black gold strategy for the month, the black gold was up 2,000. The signal A bot down 1,400. Signal B down 2,000. So it actually was the best strategy for the month, for the whole month, was eliminating the counter trend trades on crude this month. Let me see if I can find my top 3 for the month. And I'm going to exclude the one-day passes because if I include the one-day passes, then crude oil is going to win. Let's go. I'm going to tell you the top strategies right now. The top 3 for the month. The retirement plan was crushing it, and then it had a couple of bad sessions. see if we're in any positions while I'm doing this. The YM. We'll take a look at the YM. See if YM is on my leaderboard here. The YM signal A is just above water, about at $40. This strategy, the 2-minute signal A bot, is at 34.59 for the month. Let's see what the drone is at. The drone tells the bot where to put its stops and profit targets. So the drone was negative 1,000. With that AI integration that dynamically changes the stops and profit targets, it's up just under 3,500 for the month. So let me keep looking here. Haymaker is up. Let me uncheck this. For the month on my Haymaker, just up over 1,100 on the Haymaker. And I met with Tom. Tom is one of our members. And what we tried with Tom was the strategy parameters allow us to make different sessions. Like, for example, on my time analysis for the Haymaker, Tom and I found that there was times like from 8:30 to 9 that it did well, but then there was a half hour it did poorly. So in the strategy parameters, we made 3 different sessions. We did one from 8:30 to 9, from 9:30 to 10. We cut out the 9 to 9:30, is my point. And then we enabled it back for that 10:30 to 11. So he's been running his and eliminating those downtimes. That big red bar at 9 o'clock on the Haymaker, we've eliminated that out of his template. A month of data is okay, but the more you have, the better off. You don't want to do that with just a few weeks. I think a month minimum. Here's I've only been running this strategy for a few days. This is the Signal C, the new one that's running on a 10-unit Renko. This is a really conservative strategy that all its trades that it took, which is only two trades, is up $491. That's the new Signal C. Cash cow is up about 900 for the month. About $900 for the month on the cash cow. About 900 for the month on the YM as well. YM and the cash cow, very similar results. The big story, I think, is, the crude oil, for one. We're back into this trade here. Let's see if we can get this to roll for us. If it pops out, we could have a nice runner here. Market's kind of been going sideways on us. But the one-day passes have me very excited, especially with crude oil and the NASDAQ. You could see here the performance on, this is the black gold crude oil on the one-day pass for the month. I really only ran it this week, so it's really this week. Signal, Leonard, signal, black gold is a signal A entry. All of the named strategies are all signal A. The only ones that are signal B are going to be the signal B bots and drones. If it's a named strategy like cash cow, cash register, haymaker, retirement plan, those are all going to be signal A. All of them. These strategies are also all back testable. I have had a couple of emails from some of our members asking me, how do I get the back test to work? And I'm going to show you very briefly. There's one important checkbox that you have to do in order for it to work. And I just want to say that the backtest tool of NinjaTrader is not 100% accurate. It shouldn't be relied on solely as being the gospel. So the strategy analyzer, if on your control center you were to go to New Strategy Analyzer, you can run what they call a backtest on any one of our templates. And the important thing is in the strategy you would select the AI Auto Trader P. You would come down to Template, Load, and load the template that you want to test. And then in order for it to work, you have to check off this box that says Calculate Historical. If that box isn't checked, your backtest is not going to work. So you would check your Calculate Historical. If you want to make any changes to the parameters, if it's a signal A, you could select which parameters you want to test. And you would come down to your instrument and your dates that you want to run the test. If I wanted to test the month of May, I would run it from May 1st to May 31st, and then I would be able to run this. And as long as I have Calculate Historical enabled, it's going to give me the results. I didn't really load a template. In a month, to run a back test for a month, it might take a few minutes. But here, this one came back at $1,965 for the month, with a one contract strategy, a 10 tick first target stop, and a 10 tick profit target on the NASDAQ 1 minute. So now I can go in and I can play with my parameters. And I say, well, what if I add in this or add in these parameters, and I, give it more room. I want to give it 30 ticks and go for 50, and then you could see whether or not that improves your results. So these strategies are all back testable in the strategy analyzer within NinjaTrader. Well, it looks like volume has significantly waned, and we're coming up to 11:30. We'll keep it. We'll keep this trade going. We'll keep the room open here until this trade ends, one way or the other. And I hope everybody has a really nice weekend. This is the Apex account. This 13 is the one that I've been kind of struggling with. It's just about 2,900. And 16 is the other one that we've been trading, which is at about 2,100. So for the month of May, trading my Apex, I'm up just over $5,000. I've purchased a few extra accounts because of the 90% sale, and my goal is to get to 5 PA accounts, and then we're going to add the trade copier. So kind of slow and steady with those two. Volume has gone down significantly here. See if we can get one big gust of wind to blow us down through this area of support. Giving us a hard time, isn't it? Go ahead. Push on through. Go ahead. There you go. Go ahead. Push down. Break it. Nice. pin it to my indicator. We'll let the stop be pinned to the 15 here. Come on down. Okay, so we wound up plus 300 on that account. So I'm going to disable this at 300. And that's where we ended up. Just a tremendous day for the AI Auto Trader. Me personally, my account 13 was up 620 and number 16 up 300. So good move in the right direction. Way to end the week on a positive note. So I hope everybody has a blessed weekend and you're able to spend time with the people you care about the most. Have a great weekend, everybody. God willing, we'll see you next week. So long.